Good morning. So a bit of a different video. It's Saturday morning and we just picked up yet another drive shaft. I think this is the fourth drive shaft that I've purchased, so I just want to give you an update. These trucks have been made from 67 till 72, 6 years, but in those 6 years I believe that GM used 57 different drive shafts, and in the last, I don't know, couple weeks, I've learned way too much about drive shafts and combinations on these trucks. It's been fun, and my original drive shaft was a one piece, so that wouldn't work. This implementation requires a two-piece drive shaft that goes in and out of itself to absorb the articulation of the differential. The Lexus drive shaft was on a vehicle that had independent rear suspension, and here these trucks have live axle or open diff, whatever it's called, and that diff moves, so we can't have a stiff drive shaft because it's going to damage the transmission. Unlike a turbo 350 or a 400 transmission, which are common American automatics, there is no yoke that goes in and out of the output shaft. So this Lexus transmission has this three-prong flange that's fixed, and that doesn't move in and out of the transmission. So something has to slide in and out. The Lexus drive shaft has this provision, but it's only for sort of adjustments to install it properly, and then you move this nut and screw it on and lock it into place. So after having the Lexus drive shaft modified and installed on my truck, I came to realization, with the help of a few friends, buddies, who basically eloquently said, hey, that's not gonna work. I went out and I bought a drive shaft from what I thought was a long bed C10 or maybe a C20. Ended up being a 1-ton truck, which are 1 foot longer, and the drive shaft is too long and also uses a different center mounting bracket. And I kept it. It's easy to shorten a drive shaft, but that whole center mounting bracket is going to be a headache. So I went out and I bought what I hope is a true long bed, a C10 or a C20, just a long bed. One of the things I've learned is that supposedly the short beds and the long beds have the same length drive shafts from the center bearing mounting point under the cab to the rear differential, because that section is the same length. You know, the long beds, they're longer behind the rear wheel, but the part underneath the truck should be the same length, so at least I won't have to shorten that. So yeah, and now we're in the parking lot of AutoZone and going in to get some Herculiner to Herculine, which is like truck bed coating, bed liner type of thing, to do the inner fenders. And yes, this is the second AutoZone. The first one didn't have the product, and I want to share this video because these are kind of the trials and tribulations of a hot rod gangster EV converter, right? You own a Chevy and your friends joke, man, you can just go to Walmart and get your parts, and then you realize that no, these trucks are 50 years old. You can't even freaking buy valve cover gaskets in AutoZone. You have to special order them. True story. So I'm gonna go to the second store. Wish me luck. Hopefully we'll get what we need.